We have a new look Maker's Mark 46 cask strength, it looks like. This is the old bottle. This is now the new bottle. I did a quick poll on my Instagram to see what people liked or if they missed this bottle versus this one. Surprisingly, a lot of people liked the new version. Now, Maker's 46 first released in 2010, and it was the first new Maker's Mark expression since the brand's inception. It was the brainchild of the man, the myth, the legend, Bill Samuels Jr., who wanted to make his own mark at Maker's Mark. See what I did there? And Maker's 46 was born. So in 2020, on the 10th anniversary of Maker's 46, Maker's 46 cask strength was released and is now an annual release. So the 2023 version is now here with a new bottle style, a new label. Let's try it. It's What's on the Shelf Wednesday. Welcome to the Mash and Drum. I am Jason C, and this is What's on the Shelf Wednesday, the series where I bring you quick reviews of whiskeys you can actually find on the shelf, including bourbons, rye, scotches, Irish whiskeys, and more. So at its core, Maker's 46 starts off with fully matured Maker's Mark bourbon. Then it is further aged with 10 seared French oak staves immersed in the barrel to affect and enhance the flavor profile. Now I think the usual going time for that extra maturation, I think it's about 9 weeks. I always forget it's a screw top. So you're trying to pull the cork out. So supposedly the number 46 comes from the number of attempts it took Bill Samuels Jr. to ultimately make the final version of Maker's 46. But the true story is Bill Samuels Jr. worked alongside master distiller Kevin Smith and the Independent Stave Company and found that his perfectly toasted French oak stave they used to create Maker's 46 was on file already at Independent Stave Company as simply stave profile number 46.
Done and done.
So it's not as romantic of a story as the, trying 46 times before you could create this, but still a story nonetheless. Let me twist that back on. All right, so the 2023 edition versus the original style bottle. I feel like for me, I still miss this style bottle, and I would have liked to see them kind of combine the two, like put this red label somehow wrapped around this bottle. I thought would have maybe looked kind of cool, but I could see them going for more consistency throughout their entire lineup. Now the proofs will range on these, so mine comes in at 110.1 proof, and you can usually find these with an MSRP for 65 bucks. All right, let's dive in. This is kind of a nice revisit for me as well. I haven't really had Maker's 46 in a while, so I figured why not try the new bottle. Signature like Maker's Mark wheat and toffee notes in here. You really get the spice from the French oak, I think, which is what makes it a little bit more interesting than regular Maker's Mark. I get like a cherry Jolly Rancher on the nose here. Maybe slight little milk chocolate note. I mean, it's pretty light. I do like that vanilla toffee combination. Let's give it a try. Matches the palate, to be honest. I get the chocolate. I get a little bit of like that cherry Jolly Rancher like note. A lot of spice, I think, from the French oak. A little bit of a black pepper note there as well. I do appreciate the 46 profile stave. What it brings to the party here when it comes to this bourbon. Just not just being the same Maker's Mark profile, that it enhances it a little bit. I really do like what Bill Samuels Jr. did. I think the cherry on this is what's kind of throwing me here, because I don't remember getting that like cherry type candy in here at all. I do remember getting chocolate, which I'm still getting here. I'm getting spice, getting the toffee, but I don't think I really remember getting this much cherry on a Maker's 46. Cask strength. I mean, just in Makers in general, I don't generally get that note. So I don't know if it's just because of, the staves or this particular batch or bottle. I don't know, it's interesting. And as usual with Maker's Mark, the more you sip this, the easier it gets to sip. However, it does keep that really nice spice on the very, very back end of it. If you're used to drinking regular Maker's Mark, this definitely gives you a bigger burst of flavor, a little bit more depth of flavor to it. I can see, Maker's Mark purists that just like the regular Makers kind of being a little bit like, what is this? Because generally they like their, bourbons and whiskeys pretty easy to drink, which is definitely Maker's Mark and what they do with that, that wheated bourbon profile. But this just gives it a little bit more of an excitement to it, a little bit more on the back of the palate. Some of those enhanced flavors, again, toffee, vanilla, a little bit of that cherry candy to it. 65 bucks.
But liquor, our prices have never been lower.
For 65 bucks, I do like the price of this. I really do think it kind of puts them right in line with some of the bigger brands and what those cask offerings are basically being priced out these days. So I have no problem with the price. It's really going to come down to whether or not you like the Maker's Mark profile. However, this new bottle, and I don't know if this is going to be a trend or not, it'll be interesting to see how this goes along the way for a little while, if that dark fruit cherry note stays as we go along, because it's pretty prevalent for me. Yep, cherry, spice, chocolate, toffee, and a little bit of that Maker's Mark weediness. Solid release. Let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments. I really do think this is a great release from Maker's Mark, and I actually think this is better than the BEP wood finishing series. But for me, this is the profile that I like to sip. I like the spice. I like all that lingering finish that it has, and probably one that I'll reach for again pretty soon. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this episode of What's on the Shelf Wednesdays. We took a look at the new label of the Maker's Mark 46 Cask Strength. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe below. Please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, find me on Instagram, find me on Twitter. Let me know what you think about this one. If you have the new label, has it changed to you at all? And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Cheers, see you next time right here on The Mash and Drum. Take care.